One to League of Leaders Hot Topic Tuesday. I'm Zach Sooty, joined by Al Fragnoli and Brandon Gunn. Gentlemen, this Hot Topic Tuesday, we have just a few things we want to discuss, but you know, some exciting things have happened. The Olympics are now concluded. I thought it was a pretty exciting Olympics. As much as I had the opportunity to tune into, it was fun to watch. Al, want to start with you. What did you enjoy most of the Olympics this year? And what do you think of the Summer Olympics? Do you prefer winter over summer?
Yeah, good question, Zach. So to be completely truthful, I didn't watch much of the Olympics, maybe 3, 4 minutes total, a little bit of water polo action, but that was about it. But I think, to answer the second part of your question, what do I like more, summer or winter Olympics? I love the Winter Olympics. I really love Winter Olympics for some reason. I love watching hockey, really passionate about that as an Olympic sport. I think that's always really exciting. Um, in regards to, I guess, this year's Olympics, it's kind of cool that I guess men's basketball won. I mean, that's the big one that I think everybody's watching, right? And I think women's basketball for the U.S. won as well. So, the gold medals, U.S. dominated medals as a whole, I guess, but gold medals, they were one more than China, I believe it was. So a lot of representation from U.S. sports as a whole. But Zach, we talked earlier a couple of weeks ago when the Olympics first started, and we thought men's basketball was not going to show up after that first game. So a lot of credit to them for bouncing back and really showing the world that they are the best basketball team in the world. But didn't watch a ton this Summer Olympics. Looking forward to the Winter Olympics coming up soon as well. Brandon, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, aside from the men's basketball claiming the gold after kind of stumbling out of the gates, there were a couple of things that jumped out to me. USA track star Allison Felix, she claimed her spot, earning the most medals in track and field history. I thought that was great. Simone Biles, after all of the controversy surrounding her and withdrawing, coming back and getting a bronze medal, I thought that was a good storyline. And then the Italian high jumper and high jumper from Qatar, they decided to share a gold medal after competing multiple times against each other. I thought that was interesting. I didn't get to see that live, but I read about it afterwards, and I thought that two guys that have almost suffered career-ending injuries, agreeing after competing for hours and deciding not to go into overtime and just sharing the gold. I thought that was interesting, and I thought it was a pretty feel-good story. In terms of the winter versus summer Olympics, I'm with you, Al. I mean, hockey obviously is my number one sport, so I'm drawn to that. But they even got like curling. Like I can watch curling and the skiing, and I just feel like the bobsledding, all that stuff is just so fun. So I do prefer the Winter Olympics myself. What about you, Zach?
I think all the things you mentioned about the Summer Olympics were some exciting things, or at least interesting. Um, you both mentioned U.S. men's basketball, their fourth straight gold. They started slow out the gate. It wasn't looking good for them, and they came out and continued the streak. I watched a little bit of the Summer Olympics, especially the gold medal baseball game. I couldn't sleep, woke up, it was like 3 a.m. It was on. So unfortunately it was a pretty uneventful gold medal game with Japan losing 2-0 or winning 2-0 over the US. But the host country wins the gold there, their first gold in baseball. So that, I thought that was kind of cool. Would have loved to see the U.S. win, but interesting, and it was interesting enough. Brazil took 64 years for them to win gold in soccer, and now they have their second in 5 years. So I thought that was pretty special. And then for Americans, Bruce Springsteen's daughter, Jessica Springsteen, getting silver in equestrian horse jumping, a storyline that was kind of neat. As for summer versus winter, summer's fun to watch. It's interesting, but winter is special. You have hockey, Brandon, I'm with you. I could watch curling for hours. I don't know why. Never played curling in my life. Maybe a little bit of shuffleboard's the closest thing I got. But it's fun to watch. It's interesting. It's competitive. The snowboarding. I absolutely love the snowboarding, the skiing, the racing. I can watch bobsledding. There's just so much to winter that's exciting and fun. That I am definitely favor the winter sports over the summer. So I think that we can all agree on that one. So, gentlemen, the great Bobby Bowden passed away recently. Al, starting with you, what are your thoughts on his legacy and what did he mean to college football?
Yeah, he meant a ton to college football, right, Zach? I mean, one of the all-time winningest coaches in college football history. He was at Florida State for years and years and years. I mean, um, those are some of my childhood memories, is watching those great Florida State teams in the late '90s and early 2000s there that Bobby Bowden was a part of, and what a legacy he was, and a special person he is. So college football and Florida State and the entire football community definitely mourn his passing here. Special person. Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. What he did at Florida State was just special. He had 14 consecutive seasons where he finished with a top 5 ranking, but that's unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know if Alabama is doing that currently. I don't know if that'll ever be matched, especially with the parity in college football now. But in that time as well, winning 12 ACC championships, 2 national titles. And then you look at the coaching tree that he provided. All 3 of his sons got into the coaching occupation, Jimbo Fisher, and just all of the different coaches that he's kind of spun out in different areas. And I read a passage about him that when he was coaching, he actually had his home phone number published in the local phone book for years and years and years until he was told that he had to take it out. And I just, that's such a throwback sort of mentality to me. There's no way that would happen nowadays. So I think that, just thinking back to what he did at Florida State, it just really kind of made me think of the old school college football. And like you said, Al, your childhood and what you saw growing up. What about you, Zach?
Yeah, I think he was a special human being, and I didn't know the story of him having his phone number in the phone book, but a lot of people who have met the coach and talk about him said about his humbleness and his humility, and I think that story probably reflects that his name and phone number were in the phone book and could be reached, and that's just the type of human being he was. So I think Florida State had a special coach for many years. He second in wins, next to only Joe Paterno. So definitely in a special category, and glad to have been able to watch him coach, and it's nice to see how he was perceived and how people are sharing his story and his legacy. And I think that's one thing that we like to see nowadays, is because there's a lot of individuals that sometimes have things in their closet that may be end their careers on a little bit of on the darker side, but I don't think we're going to have that with Coach Bowden. So, gentlemen, last topic. We have a special Major League Baseball game this week. I believe it's Thursday night. We have the White Sox and Yankees playing in the cornfields of Iowa at the Field of Dreams location. Al, what does the Field of Dreams game mean to you? Are you excited? Were you a fan of the movie? And maybe you could throw in, what is your favorite sports movie?
Zach, good questions there. I love it. I love this topic. super excited to talk about it. Super excited for the game. I cannot wait for this. I love baseball. Something special about Field of Dreams. Yes, I did love that movie. It's a fantastic storyline. Cannot wait for the game this Thursday. Really, really looking forward to it. Going to try and sit there with my 3-year-old son Frankie and see if he can tune in for maybe 10 minutes before he starts getting antsy and wanting to run around. But I've always wanted to go to Iowa and Dyersville, Iowa, see their movie site. It's about an 8-hour drive from me here. I've been to Iowa before, but never been to the Field of Dreams movie site, and still on my bucket list of places to go play catch with my dad, maybe my brother, and now my 3-year-old son as well. So love the movie. Can't wait for this Thursday. Favorite sports movie. Everybody that knows me knows it's Rudy, and it's always gonna be Rudy. Touchdown Jesus, Notre Dame, love it all. Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, the Field of Dreams. Sorry, we're gonna have to disagree on the favorite movie, but the Field of Dreams movie was great. It's the first real sports movie I remember growing up, and I think it still hits home today. I think that it can still deliver today, still be as current as ever was, in terms of the game being played there. Is it a gimmick? Yeah, but I love all of the gimmicks. I love all of the Winter Classic games at the different baseball venues. I love the college basketball games played on aircraft carriers. I mean, all that stuff. Anything that just breaks up the monotony of a season and is something cool and different. Why not try it? I think that this is going to be a great game, and everything that I've seen is that this ticket is one of the hardest tickets to get in recent history, and I love that. I love that, especially in a time where we're starting to see viewership of baseball die down a little bit. I think that this is the perfect thing to hopefully inject some life into it. So I love it. And then in terms of favorite sports movies, I think that Remember the Titans is one of my favorite sports movies. I just think that the message that that movie conveys, just all the way around. There's so many great messages through it. That narrowly beats out probably Miracle, and then there's some other sports movies. I'm a huge sports movie guy, but I think Remember the Titans was one of the best movies to sit down with my kids, watch, and just watch them take in all of the messages that that movie had to deliver. So, what about you, Zach?
Brandon, real quick, Zach, before
Yeah.
you jump in, Brandon, Remember the Titans is definitely a classic. I do love that movie. So if that's number one for you, if number two is Miracle, which is another fantastic movie, I'm assuming Rudy is 3.
100. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Somewhere.
perfect. Zach.
So I'm excited for the game. I think I agree with Brandon on the gimmicks, if you will, the basketball games on aircraft carriers. I love all the Winter Classics and the Stadium Series. I mean, that stuff. I went to the first Winter Classic, the Penguins in Buffalo, up in Buffalo, and the snow was coming down, and it was just something awesome to be a part of, and absolutely enjoy them to this day. I think this is just another one of those opportunities to deliver baseball in a different way, and I think it hypes up the game a little bit more by doing this. And it'll be interesting to see, and just the lights and how the stadium looks. I'm hoping that there's a lot of familiarity between what this, how it's going to look in comparison to the movie. So I'm excited about it. It'll be fun to watch, and just something different. Like you said, it's not going to be in a stadium in a sense. So it's going to be interesting. As for the Field of Dreams movie itself, Al, it's been a few months, but we had our top movies ranked, and Field of Dreams, I believe, may have been my number one when we did that. But I'm not like you, Al. My number one doesn't stay number one all the time. It goes in what I'm feeling for that day. But Field of Dreams is one of those movies that still gives me goosebumps, no matter when I watch it, or how often I watch it. It still just is a special movie for me. And because that may have been my number one a while ago, I'll choose a different one this time. You both chose some feel-good movies. Al, Rudy, great movie. I get why you like it. You probably relate to him a lot. 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing through high school. So you probably relate to Rudy very much. And Remember the Titans is a truly feel good movie. There are so many fantastic sports movies. I like them all. I like even the bad ones. They could have the worst rank. Critics could say they're terrible, and I'll still like them. But one movie that always makes me laugh, I'm sticking with baseball, Major League. I still look for that on how I can watch it when it's on. It's not an easy to get movie. It's not on Netflix. It's not on, it's not, you typically have to rent it. You have to find it. And I think that's what kind of a little bit of the lure for me is it's still a hard to find movie, but it's one that makes me laugh and just has that, has a little bit of feel good to it, but not like Rudy and Remember the Titans.
Zach, that was fantastic stuff. Thank you for sharing that right there. And I'll take that as a compliment, because right now I am 5 foot something and 200 and something. So thank you for those kind words right there. Guys, this wraps it up for Hot Topic Tuesday tonight. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Next week, we'll probably start with some Notre Dame football discussions. But again, we thank you for tuning in. We hope you join us this Sunday as we have Dr. Mike Smith, CEO of John Mattone Global and ILEC lead trainer, joining us. And we hope you tune in next Tuesday for another edition of Hot Topic Tuesday, where we can again talk about all the traditions that Notre Dame football has and why that university is so, so special. Thank you, everybody.